Hi everyone, welcome to Success Connect. I'm so excited that you're joining us today for what promises to be an unforgettable experience where you can learn, exchange ideas, and take time to reimagine the future of work. Looking back to just 1 year ago, we made a bold claim with the introduction of human experience management as a new category. It signaled a shift from treating people as company assets to rightly placing them at the center of business. Our people determine whether we succeed or fail. So the experiences we deliver and how we address the moments that matter for every individual impacts business growth and how quickly an organization adapts to change. In 2019, we partnered with Qualtrics, Thrive Global, and Fortune to understand how thousands of employees from over 900 companies felt about the influence their organizations had across a number of life moments, from the birth of a child or loss of a loved one to a promotion or a leadership change. In June of this year, we analyzed the experience data gathered from that survey and compared it with each organization's mid-2020 financial results. What we found was very interesting. Organizations that scored in the top 20 for experience grew revenue on average by 16% year on year. What we've learned from our research and from working with many of you as you support your people is that experience wins. So how do we deliver an experience every day that brings out the best in your employees? And how do we create a work environment that feels less like work and more like purpose? Where people have the tools they need to get their jobs done, and where learning is continuous, prioritized, and meaningful. And where diversity and inclusion are a natural part of our culture, not just something we strive for. If we're going to make lasting change to how we work, we must have a renewed focus on making real human connections with our people. The technology to help us work efficiently toward a common purpose with fewer obstacles, and innovative, committed leadership. I've had the privilege of speaking with many of you over the past few months, and I know with certainty how instrumental you have been in leading your people and your organizations through this time of change. There are countless examples of how you've led the way to build essential bridges between humans, technology, and your business purpose to help your organization and your people thrive. Let me share a few examples with you to illustrate my point. At the start of the pandemic, National Australia Bank took hundreds of in-person tellers and trained them to become call center agents from their homes, practically overnight. They used technology to find the right people with the right skills and to deploy training to those who needed it. But they also realized their people needed more. NAB's CHRO personally held daily calls to help their workforce stay informed. And they rolled out support programs to help employees manage what they were experiencing at home. Human connections make the difference. Let me give you another example, and this one's a bit more personal. When I stepped into this role leading SuccessFactors, within weeks our business was dealing with a global pandemic. Like many of you, I believe in the power of employee listening to understand what inspires and motivates our people. In this case, I was also desperate to know what they needed from us. So we ran an internal pulse survey, of course using Qualtrics. And what we found was that employees were feeling overwhelmed by the pressures of home and work responsibilities. And they were also experiencing considerable uncertainty, which was contributing to their stress. Just like the employees from NAB, they wanted to hear from us. And they wanted to know how we were adjusting our business strategy to meet the needs of our evolving reality. So we met with small groups of employees and leaders within each region, and we called this a listening tour. We answered every single question we could. By being more transparent, we brought employees closer. Our next pulse survey in May revealed a significant increase in employee engagement and leadership trust scores. For many organizations, listening and monitoring employee engagement have become less of an HR to-do and more of a business imperative. We will continue to embed Qualtrics into all of our solutions so that you have the same seamless opportunity to check on your people and to understand and take action. On this topic, many of you have asked about the Qualtrics IPO. Based on the incredible growth of Qualtrics in the past year, we made this financial decision. it does not change the commitment to our strategic partnership, delivering HXM to all of you. I sincerely believe human connections inspire our people and reinforce our purpose. But we can't ignore the power of technology to keep business moving forward. In recent months, we've used technology to connect people across the globe and access the data and insights that we as leaders need to make fast and intelligent decisions. As HXM continues to guide everything we do, from our reimagined user experiences to our product innovation, we've made it our mission to make technology work for humans, not the other way around. Later today, Amy Wilson, our amazingly talented head of product, is going to showcase SAP WorkZone for HR. It's our latest product that will provide an intuitive, digital, and personalized workplace experience, allowing people to do their work more efficiently and collaborate across the entire business. Reskilling and upskilling have also become increasingly important as organizations tap into employee talents and quickly pivot to new markets, products, and services. Who knew Louis Vuitton could move so quickly from making perfume to manufacturing hand sanitizer? As we look to a future with continuous change, the skills needed in a year might not be those needed today. So learning must be ongoing, dynamic, and individualized to help every employee achieve their development goals and also help businesses become more nimble. We are embedding AI and machine learning to provide contextual guidance on how to discover new opportunities to develop and grow, and incorporating blockchain verified credentials so that employees have agency over their own skills and experiences. There is so much more that we have in store for the future of learning. Later today, Amy will give you a sneak peek into our vision. My third and final example of the role technology plays to create more meaningful work environments is an important one. We all know that diversity, equity, and inclusion matters to business results, our ability to innovate, and most importantly, it matters to our people. But merely talking about it hasn't been enough. Essence recently reported that almost half of Black women say they experience discrimination most frequently at work. And McKinsey's 2019 inclusion study found that only 67% of employees believe that people of different backgrounds have an equal chance of being hired or promoted. These sobering statistics and the conversations I know many of you have had with your people are deeply personal and often painful. We must do more. We have to do better. When we introduced Business Beyond Bias, we wanted to help customers eliminate inherent biases in their workplace practices, from recruiting and hiring to developing, growing, and compensating their people. We are relying on the most current research, on the words, feelings, and desires of our own people, and the most brilliant minds at SAP to evolve our technology to better address and eliminate discrimination in the workplace. But this is only part of the solution. Lasting change requires strong leadership with a clear and actionable point of view, a culture with core values of learning and transparency, and a willingness to listen and discuss the issues even when it's uncomfortable. Recently, I had the pleasure of speaking with a remarkable leader who's an active culture champion, a believer in the personalized employee experience, and an advocate for the increasingly important role of HR in business today. I'm so excited to share with you the highlights of my conversation with Kathleen Hogan, Chief People Officer at Microsoft. Hi, Kathleen. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, Jill. Great to see you. Thanks for inviting me.
So tell us about how you see the role of CHRO today.
Well, I think the role of HR has always been or should be very strategic. I think at the end of the day, people are your most important asset, and the success of the company or the firm depends on your ability to attract, develop, and retain exceptional talent. So I think it's always been super important. But certainly I think the last year, as we've navigated just a lot of social issues as well as, of course, now COVID, the ability to really focus on the employee experience, take care of the employees, create a culture where all employees can bring their best selves, I think has been more important than ever. And so I think the ability for the CHRO to to step up, but also to step up in partnership with the leadership team. One thing I've realized for sure is there's a huge opportunity to use this platform as the head of HR to try to make a difference for our employees. But if you can do that in partnership with the leadership team, because everybody has a responsibility to really drive the people agenda, that's really the force multiplier when the leadership team comes together around a people agenda.
I know you have a founder, as we've seen in a couple of documentaries. Bill Gates takes self-development, learning so seriously. So how do you at Microsoft ensure that you make a reality out of this culture of learning?
I'm so proud of what, Bill has done in terms of the Gates Foundation, and he's certainly instilled that sense of giving back within the employees at Microsoft. But as it relates to learning, I think one of the things we did when we defined our Aspire to culture is we grounded our culture in a growth mindset, this concept of failure is essential to mastery. And really, each of us needs to be on this journey to confront your fixed mindset and move into the growth mindset, even on a daily basis. In the past, maybe we only celebrated taking risks and succeeding, which is great. We also try to talk about taking risks, failing, but that has made us better, stronger, to try to legitimize people taking risks, learning, growing, and really unlocking that growth mindset. I think in addition, what we've tried to do is make learning assets more available to our employees. It used to be that you would just have to go out to this morass of content and try to figure out what makes sense to try to take advantage of. Now, by role, by geography, we've really focused on being clear about what's required, but also serving up a lot of great assets that are relevant to the individual.
When you think about the Microsoft culture, how has that contributed to your amazing business outcomes? We all know that diversity and inclusion is an extremely relevant topic today. It's always been very important to us, but it's becoming really in the forefront of everything that we see and do today. Can you give our audience some guidance on how they can help incite lasting change?
So having been focused on this for many years now, there is no silver bullet. You have to absolutely have vision, determination, as well as execution. And I'll give credit to Dr. West from Harvard, who talked to our Inclusion Council. We have an Inclusion Council across all of our different employee resource groups that meet with Satya, and we had the honor of having Dr. West talk to us. But he really talked about, of course you need to have execution, and there are a lot of things that we've done from an execution perspective, whether it be, diverse slates, having compensation for the executive team tied to diversity inclusion, investing in allyship and training and culture programs for the broad organization. I could go through all of the investing in early in career in the pipeline. There's a lot to do from an execution perspective, but you also have to really focus up front on the vision and why diversity and inclusion is existential to your business. And then really have that determination to stay the course, because it takes time. It's not easy. It's not one and done. It has to be something that you're willing to sustain your focus. Like I said, we've been at it for many years, and as much as we've made some progress, we recognize we still have a long way to go.
It does take that determination. I love the comment you made on vision, determination, and execution. That is exactly what it takes. And so thank you to Dr. West and for sharing that with us, Kathleen. Let me just ask you one more question around empathy. We talked about it earlier. This is really about the whole person, though. It's about taking care of an employee in terms of their well-being, in terms of their health, their safety, their mental well-being as well. These topics are all crucial. What impact do you think a personalized experience has on the business?
I think it's absolutely critical. And you talk about well-being, and we know that the pandemic has put a huge stress on our employees from a mental health and well-being perspective, just given everything that they're navigating. And what people are navigating varies. Whether they're navigating kids at home, or they're navigating isolation, or they're navigating friends or family that have COVID itself, whatever it is, our employees are really navigating a broad spectrum of demands, both at work and at home. And so I think the more you as a manager can really care for employees and help them with flexibility or understanding their situation, it can be a huge unlock. We've noticed this for Microsoft in terms of our managers caring for our employees. One of the things we did about a year ago is we came out with the guidance for what it really means to be a manager at Microsoft, and it's 3 pillars: model, coach, care. Role model, coach, care. But that care element, boy, have we relied on that during this environment.
I love a focus on caring. So all of your insights today, Kathleen, are so helpful, and they're going to be so valuable to our entire audience. Let me give you a chance, though. Any last final words that you'd like to offer the group?
If I had to give some advice, number one is take care of yourself. I think as everybody's focused on taking care of other people, during this pandemic, making sure that you're sleeping and exercising and drawing your own boundaries, I think is super important. The other thing we've talked at Microsoft about are the 3 Gs: growth mindset, gratitude, and grace during this time. I've already talked about that growth mindset and challenging your fixed mindset in terms of what's possible given this new world of work. And we do think that the way people work is going to be changed forever. But also starting your day with gratitude. What is the glass half full or half empty, and really focusing on what that half full. And then grace, just being kind to each other. Everybody's dealing with a lot. And so, when people are exhausted, when nerves are frayed, whatever is happening, try to be kind and be supportive of each other.
I love that. What a great place to end. Growth mindset, gratitude, and grace. Kathleen, thank you so much again for joining us today. We are so grateful that you were able to spend some time sharing with our audience your amazing wisdom and insight.
Thanks so much. It was an honor to be even invited.
I am incredibly inspired every day by your resiliency, unwavering commitment to your people, and your determination to make impactful decisions that will fundamentally change the way we work in the future. We are committed to listening intently to you so that we can better understand the evolving needs of your business and find new and meaningful ways to support you. I hope you'll take the time today to reflect on all you've done for your organization in these past few months and join us as we dive into a future of work that is joyful, meaningful, and productive. Human connections, the power of technology, and your leadership will pave the way.